Hello, greetings. I hope you are well if you are watching this wherever you are. And I wanted to share a short, accessible practice for nourishing the mind, the body, the spirit, so that you are filled up and ready to go do the things you need to do, fulfill your roles, your responsibilities, live your dreams. And being able to do that comes from being nourished, from being taken care of. So it is my hope that this practice will provide support in that regard and be of service. If you do not know me, my name is Ashlyn. I am the creator of the Homegrown Health platform where I share yoga, Ayurveda, and under that falls the Living Awareness Patreon community and the Nurturing Connection YouTube videos that I'm just now starting because it's really a great joy of mine to share in these practices and teachings that have been shared with me as far as nurturing that connection back to self and back to that inner world full of wisdom, full of knowing, full of sweetness and peace. So thank you for joining, and I look forward to sharing with you. For more information, you can visit my website or reach out to me. But for the sake of our practice today, nourishing the mind, body, and spirit, we'll be moving through some very gentle asanas, postures, and incorporating breath work as well as a mindfulness practice. So please come into this with an open mind, no expectations, and meet me on your mat in a comfortable seated position. So you can sit on a blanket or some kind of towel or cushion if you find that elevating your hips is what you need to do to create a pleasant shape in Sukhasana, easy seat. You can sit in half lotus, which is what I'm sitting in currently, or just a gentle crisscross. Another option is to come to the knees. You can also put a block underneath the sit bones here. Or if you don't want to sit on a blanket and would rather sit on a block to elevate your hips, that's also available to you. So easy seat, hands resting in the lap. Tall spine, alert from the tailbone up to the crown. And then amidst the alertness, you start to ease into relaxation in the shoulders, the jawline, the forehead. Even imagine relaxing at the crown of your head. Eyes can float closed if that is comfortable. If not, a soft gaze past the tip of your nose. Use these first few moments of practice to settle in, to let these scattered bits and pieces of the mind, of your experience right now, if it feels scattered, let all of those bits and pieces gather back to center in this still, quiet moment. And as a tool for gathering all the bits and pieces, begin to observe the breath, not changing the breath, but observing it, bearing witness to the inflow of air and the outflow of air. Letting your body be breathed, your mind breathed, your heart breathed, fresh, vital energy flowing in and flowing out. And after observing the breath, what did you notice? Choppiness, smoothness. shallowness, fullness, roughness, smoothness. What qualities does your breath carry right now? And my invitation for you is to invite in the qualities of smooth, steady, unbroken flow. Letting the unbroken quality bring connection where there may be disconnection, and the smooth quality softening any rough places. The steadiness bringing a balance, a returning to equanimity. Staying with these qualities of the breath and the witnessing presence that you are. Bring your left hand over the abdomen and your right hand over your heart. Try to stay relaxed yet alert, and begin to envision a nourishing light. It could be warm golden light or a pearly white lunar light, whichever light feels most in sync with you right now. And for this next practice, know the left hand and left side of the body to be associated with receiving the right hand, right side of the body for the purpose of this practice, the energy of giving. On your next inhale, we'll inhale deep into the abdomen, drawing in this light, whether it be golden sunlight or pearly white lunar light. And as you exhale, imagine that light flowing from the navel center into your left hand receiving that light. The light flows up to the left shoulder, from left shoulder to right shoulder, and the right hand gives it to the heart. Use your imagination here. Inhale, filling up the belly with this warm, bright, nourishing light. And the exhale, left hand receives, travels to the right hand, and gives to the heart. Be with this for a few more moments, letting your mind focus on the practice. If anything else arises that tries to pull you out of the practice, you can simply recite in your mind, neti neti, not neti neti, not this, and then return to the practice. And as we do this, creating this circuit of vital life force, prana flowing through the body, flowing optimally, efficiently, effectively, nourishing you on a deep, visceral level. Nourishing that inner peacemaker and your connection to the inner peacemaker that is you. Take a couple more rounds with the intention to nourish yourself, your whole self, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Bring the hands to the heart, pausing at this heart that's been nourished, receiving light, light spreading from the heart throughout the entire body. May your practice bring nourishment in whatever form that you need it, so that you can go out into your life and do the things you need to do and live the dreams your heart wants you to live. Next, inhale, reach the arms down and up, lift through the fingertips. Palms meet overhead. On your exhale, bend in your elbows and bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. From here, interlace the fingertips. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see in case there's any confusion. And then from here, inhale, open your elbows, lift the chest slightly, cow-like spine. Exhale, rounding through the spine, cat, chin to chest, pull the elbows in towards the ears. Inhale, cow, open through the elbows, expand through the heart. And exhale, round. Do a few more rounds by yourself. You can close the eyes here, and as your breath circulates and you move, imagine that nourishing light circulating and moving through the parts of the body that we're moving into right now. If you're unsure, just notice where there's sensation. That would be the area that change is happening, the area that is being awoken. Next time you inhale, come up to a neutral spine, release the fingertips up, and then exhale, interlace your hands at the small of your back. If your hands don't comfortably clasp, you can hold a strap, towel, belt, or do reverse ragdoll arms. If you have the fingers interlaced, press the knuckles down and away. Chin is neutral, tall through the spine. And then take your gaze slightly up. As you inhale here, think tall, open heart. As you exhale, gently begin to roll your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Inhale, coming back to starting position, gaze up. Exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, back through center, lift the gaze. Exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Stay here for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Inhale, bring the gaze back up through center. Exhale, left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, up through center. I'm sure you know where we're going. So complete a total of 3 rounds on the left side. And then after 3 rounds, holding the left side for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Invite the qualities of softness, smooth steadiness into your breath and your practice. Those qualities are very nourishing, very calming, harmonizing. Inhale, bring the gaze back up. Then exhale, bring your chin neutral and then chin towards the chest. Pausing here and finding space right behind your neck, down between the shoulder blades. And letting the breath pulsate there for the next 2 to 3 rounds. Next, inhale, lift your head to neutral, reach your arms up. On your exhale, we're coming into tabletop. So hands underneath your shoulders and hips over your knees. And then from your tabletop pose, inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog, begin to lift your hips and start to slowly bend one knee at a time, letting the gaze come back towards the feet. Now your feet can always be wider than hip distance. Your hands can be on blocks. And just explore some movement here. Notice where there's sensation. I invite you to take 1 to 3 rounds of a clearing breath, sighing out of an open mouth, imagining a releasing, emptying action happening with that open mouth exhale. Awesome. Inhale onto your tiptoes. Exhale, take a bend in your knees. And then from here, with the head heavy and breath smooth, you'll start to find a bouncing motion in your hips. Let it be light and playful. So light through your hips, your knees, your heels as you begin to bounce here. And let this serve as a stirring up, shaking up action to the channels of the body, often called meridians in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, nadis in Ayurveda. And these channels, when they are open and prana can flow freely and life can flow freely, we tend to feel more aligned and more balanced versus when the channels become blocked. So we're just stirring things up here, moving any stagnant areas around. Inhale back onto your tiptoes, and exhale, lower your heels. From here, inhale, shift forward, find a high plank pose. Shoulders over your wrists, hips in line with your heels. So really long from the hips down to the heels, keeping the hips neutral so they're not sagging and they're not too high, but nice long line through the back of your body. Engage your core. The other option here is to bring the knees down if that feels more supportive for you today. It's still going to be an effective posture, especially if you continue to pull the navel in and up and stay engaged through your core. And you might actually want to come to your knees for this next bit of practice, or you may want to stay lifted. But here with the core engaged, arms strong, take a big breath in. And exhale, lower halfway down, pulling the elbows close to your rib cage. Inhale, press up. You can skip this entirely if it's not for you. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. If you're skipping, just hold the high plank variation. Last time, exhale, lower halfway down, elbows close. Inhale, lift. And then exhale all the way to your belly, slowly lowering elbows tucked, spine long, all the way down. Tops of your feet come flat, and they can be hip distance or wider. And then we're going to come into Sphinx Pose. So coming to the forearms, shoulders over the elbows, or elbows can be slightly forward of the shoulders. Relax through the lower half of your body. If your spine and the lower back region tends to be crunchy, tender, tight, you might want to open your feet a little bit wider. Chin parallel to the ground. Imagine dragging your wrist towards your elbows and draw the heart forward through and open. Close the eyes or soften the gaze and let your attention and your energy rest in the heart center and breathe into that center. At any point, if you want to draw in Ujjayi Pranayam, which is breathing in and out of the nose into the back of the throat with a slight constriction at the back of the throat for an audible breath, feel free to do that. It's a beautiful practice for opening the channels in the body and the throat region. Last inhalation. And exhale your forehead to the ground, hands underneath your shoulders. Two options, you can tuck your toes, inhale through high plank to down dog, or you can inhale through tabletop to downward facing dog. Once in down dog, feet hip distance, or wider or closer, whatever's best for you. And then inhale, lift the right heel up, three-leg dog, dialing the right hip bone and right toes down. Strong arms, imagine rotating the inner eyes of your elbows towards one another. And grounding through your left heel, relax the gaze back, breathe. Last inhalation. Exhale, quietly step the right hand outside of your right, or your right foot outside of your right hand for an active lizard lunge. Make sure your knee is over your ankle and not going past to protect your joints. And then from here, begin to find a gentle gliding motion forward and back. Legs are strong. Think about contracting through your abdomen, navel to spine. Core is strong, which extends from the inner thighs all the way up through the midsection. Moving in a way that feels nourishing. Make adjustments if the practice doesn't. And have discernment to know the difference between discomfort, which can at times be nourishing because sometimes we have to be comfortable to get out of our limitations, versus being in pain and pushing things too far. From here, begin to lower the left knee down and tuck the left toes. If your knee feels tender on the hard ground, bring a blanket or a towel underneath. Bring your left hand out closer to the left edge of your mat, a little out from the left shoulder, and then inhale the right arm up. And you can use a block underneath your left hand as an option. Reach up, lean back, ground down through the right foot. Throat is open, chin away from the chest. Circulating that nourishing light we brought in at the beginning of practice here in this posture, in this twisted lizard variation. Take one more breath in. Exhale, lower your right hand, active lizard lunge. Two runners lunge, heel toe the right foot in towards your midline. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot meets your right, top of your mat, feet at least hip distance. Hands can be on blocks or ground. Inhale, halfway lift hands to ground or shin. Lengthen from your tailbone through your crown. Stay broad through your chest. Exhale, forward fold 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold 1 more time by yourself. Staying in your forward fold, shift the weight towards the center of your feet. Let the head go, press up through your hips. Draw the inner thighs together, and then I invite you to either press your hands flat against the ground or 2 blocks, head heavy, and then press into your feet and press into your hands. Imagine inhaling from the earth into your hands, up into your spine, to your hips. Exhale from the hips down through the feet, back into the earth. Inhaling, receiving through the hands up to the hips. And exhale from the hips down and out of the feet a couple more times like that, circulating your breath. Next, inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana, sit your hips low. Reach your arms up. If you feel like you tend to tighten your shoulders a lot here, just bring your hands out a bit wider. Shift the weight towards your heels, sit low in your hips. Draw your inner thighs in. Gonna play a little bit here. Inhale, shifting onto the tiptoes, lift your heels. Exhale, lower, lift your toes. And for the next few rounds of breath, slowly rocking forward and back in your chair pose. Stay low in your hips. If you feel like you're arching a lot in your lower back, draw the tailbone slightly down. Keep your chest lifted. Next time you come back into your heels, stay here, sit low. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, goddess arms, draw the elbows out and lift through your chest. Keep your hips neutral over your ankles. It's all happening in the upper back. Inhale, lift back up through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Left hand over the belly, right hand over the chest. Let's circulate that nourishing light a couple or a few times here in our standing position, feet firmly planted in the earth. Find your imagination, visualize the light inhaled into your belly. Let the left hand receive, exhaling, it goes all the way up and out of the right hand into the heart a few more times. Relax the micro tensions, the micro discomforts. Next, inhale, both arms down, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. You can bend the knees here if you need to and come down long and slow. Inhale, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, fold, palm your mat, step both feet back, high plank. Inhale and high plank, and then you can exhale, lifting your hips to down dog, or if you'd like to flow through low push-up to upward facing dog, or down to your belly to cobra. You can do those if that is in your practice today. Clearing breath in down dog, sigh out of an open mouth. Empty, empty. Inhale, left heel lifts through leg. Dial the left toes down, left hip point down. Gaze back, hands are even in weight, so you're not dumping your weight over to one side or another. Last breath in. Exhale, active lizard. Step the left foot outside of your left hand, knee over the ankle. Once here, gaze is slightly forward, long through the back of your neck, and start to glide in your legs. Stay engaged through your center, connected to your breath. The physical movement, nourishing the physical body. The focus nourishing the mind and the emotions. And the breath nourishing the energetic pranic body. Come to stillness, lower the right knee. Untuck the right toes. Bring the right hand out a little further towards the right edge of your mat and inhale the left arm up, ground down through the left big toe and foot. Reach up, lean back, breathe. Let the chest be open, the throat open. One more breath in. Exhale, left hand down, active lizard lunge, tuck your right toes. This time, inhale, gaze is lifted, look where you're going. Exhale, Malasana Yogi Squat, step your right foot outside of your right hand, either sitting down or staying lifted if you need to, or sitting on blocks. Hands can come to heart if that's for you. Whatever position you have decided to take, check in with the spine, tailbone to crown, and is it a long, open circuit? And usually it's not if we're rounding or constricting the spine in any way, shape, or form. So make sure you're nice and tall through your spine. Extend the left arm out. Inhale, reach up to the right, lean back. Exhale, hands to heart. Extend the right arm out to the side. Inhale, left arm up, big stretch, lean back through your left shoulder. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring the hands to the ground. As you inhale, come onto your tiptoes, straighten your legs, cat spine, chin to chest, stay on the tiptoes. Exhale, lower your heels and walk your feet into hip distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. On your exhale, find airplane arms as you come onto your tiptoes. So reach the fingertips back high on the toes. Lift your heels. Squeeze your inner thighs in, strong through your center. Gaze is focused and steady. Breathe. Stay on your tiptoes. Inhale, slowly begin to stand up and straighten your legs. Reach up. And exhale, lower the heels. Interlace the hands at the small of your back. Holding a strap if you need to, or reverse ragdoll arms. Press the knuckles away. Take a few rounds of breath here. Draw the shoulders together. Final breath in. Exhale, forward fold with the shoulders stretched. Bend your knees, hinge from your hips. Straighten the legs to your own degree. Let the head go. Press the knuckles up and away. Last breath in. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palm your mat. Step back to your high plank pose. And from your high plank pose, we're going to do side plank on each side. I'm going to offer two options. First, we can either lower the right knee, spin open, supported side plank, or feet come close together, right hand comes in a bit, roll to the outer side of your right foot, side plank pose. Whichever variation, go extended, press the left hip up, pull navel in, and breathe strong. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, back through center, switching sides, whichever variation is best for you. Go extended, find space along the right side of the body, creating a beautiful rainbow-like arch under the left side of the body. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, high plank pose, knee and down dog, however you want to get there. Clearing breath. Child's pose. Bring the knees down, knees wide apart. Big toes together, melt your hips back. Extend the arms forward. Forehead to the ground. Close the eyes if you are able to. Melt into these last few moments of our practice in Child's Pose, a very internal, sweet, nourishing posture. Let all of the micro tensions, whatever micro tensions that may be, whether it's physical or mental or emotional, let them melt into your mat, and from your mat into the floor, and from the floor down into the earth, and into the earth to be recycled, to be regenerated into something that is more supportive, more aligned, something that is nourishing, that can be of assistance to you and propelling you forward into your life and the gifts you are meant to share and the dreams that your heart dreams. From your Child's Pose, either meet me in seated to bring practice to an end, or if you would like to lay down in a Shavasana, feel free to lay down in any lying down posture that feels good in your body. Whatever you've decided to do, make sure it is pleasant in your experience, or it's creating a pleasant experience. Reconnect with the light that we started practice with, and that nourishing light that was with us throughout the practice, that circulated on the breath. And then let the breath soften and let that light consume your body, consume your mind, consume any micro tensions. And for the next few moments, rest as that sweet, nourishing light, as opposed to a mind or a body or a to-do list or the disturbances that you encounter. Instead of being or identifying as those things, identify as the light. Be in that space of warm, nourishing light. And observe how your body starts to change and how your experience starts to shift when you become, identify, embrace, embody that sweet, nourishing light. What does it feel like to step away from the mind-body dynamic and disturbances and to step into the warm, nourishing light? Rest, settle, settle here. And staying in this place as long as you need to. And when you're ready to end the practice, you can come to seated. Bring the hands to the heart in a gesture of respect and appreciation for the time you made for your practice, the time you made for yourself, and the gift of yoga as a tradition teaching wisdom that has been shared for many, many, many centuries. Lift the thumbs to the brow line, honoring the light of clarity that lives inside, always waiting for us to reconnect with it if we're not. And from that place, may we move through our days, our thoughts, our words, our actions, and into our most sincere dream. The light inside of me sees, honors, and supports the light inside of you. Om Namaste. Blessings. Take care. And I hope to see you soon. If you want to practice regularly, I have some live stream classes through my website. So I hope to catch you there.